Ever wonder why we associate Halloween with candy? It's a tale as sweet as the treats themselves. Picture this: over 2,000 years ago, the ancient Celts celebrated the end of harvest and the start of their new year on November 1st. This festival, known as Samhain, marked the boundary between the warmth of summer and the cold, dark winter, a time they believed the spirits of the dead returned to earth. Now, these weren't your modern-day friendly ghosts. No, these were spirits that needed appeasing, and the Celts had just the trick. The idea of giving treats began as an attempt to mollify these restless spirits. The Celts would leave food and drink outside their homes, hoping to satisfy any wandering spirit that might otherwise be inclined to cause mischief. This practice was their version of a peace offering, a sweet little bribe, if you will, to keep the otherworldly guests from stirring up trouble. As time went by, the Romans conquered Celtic territory and merged their own festivals with Samhain. One of these was Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans traditionally commemorated the passing of the dead. The second was a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. The symbol for Pomona is an apple, and this could explain the tradition of bobbing for apples on Halloween. Fast forward to the Christian era, where Samhain became All Hallows' Eve, the night before All Saints' Day. The tradition of offering food to ward off spirits evolved into souling, where children and the poor would go door to door offering prayers for the dead in exchange for soul cakes or other treats. In the New World, Halloween was initially considered taboo due to the strict religious beliefs of the early settlers. However, as more immigrants arrived, especially those from Ireland and Scotland, Halloween traditions began to take root. The practice of souling evolved into trick-or-treating, and over time, these treats became the candy we know and love today. So the tradition of sweets during Halloween started as a way to keep the spooks at bay. Fascinating, isn't it? From its roots in ancient traditions, Halloween candy has come a long way. A journey that began with simple homemade treats and fruits offered to trick-or-treaters has now evolved into a grand spectacle of store-bought candies, thanks to the rise of commercial candy companies in the 20th century. Back in the day, Halloween was a rather quaint occasion, with the focus on community and goodwill. Treats were made at home: cookies, cakes, caramel apples and popcorn balls, and were handed out to children who came knocking at the door. Fruits, particularly apples, were also a popular treat, symbolizing the harvest season. But as the decades rolled on, the world changed. The 20th century brought with it a wave of industrialization and commercialization. This wave swept through every corner of society, and Halloween was no exception. The homemade treats of yesteryears started being replaced by commercially produced candies. Candy companies saw the potential in this annual event. They realized that Halloween could be a goldmine, a perfect opportunity to market their wares. And so, the commercialization of Halloween began. Candy companies started producing special Halloween-themed candies, complete with spooky packaging. The candies were mass-produced, cheap, and came in a variety of flavors and shapes. They were a hit, and so the tradition changed. The homemade treats and fruits of the past were replaced by store-bought candies. The door-to-door trick-or-treating remained, but the treats children received were no longer made with love at home. They were factory-made, produced by machines and sold for profit. But despite this change, the spirit of Halloween remained. The joy of dressing up, the thrill of going door to door, and the sweet satisfaction of a bag full of candy, these things remained. And perhaps that's the magic of Halloween. It has managed to retain its charm and spirit, despite the changes it has undergone. The evolution of Halloween candy reflects the changes in our society and economy. From homemade to factory-made, it's a sweet transformation. The candy craze really took off post-World War II, and there was no turning back. The end of the war brought about an era of unprecedented prosperity and a return to the joys of childhood. And what better way to celebrate than with a sweet treat? Candy was no longer just a luxury, but a symbol of the good times rolling once again. Candy companies, seizing this golden opportunity, ramped up production and embarked on a marketing blitz like never before. The airwaves were filled with jingles and slogans, promising sweetness and joy in every bite. The candy bar, once a simple treat, was now a household name. The role of marketing in this candy explosion cannot be overstated. It was marketing that turned candy from a mere treat into an experience, a shared memory, a part of life's celebrations. Candy companies didn't just sell sugar, they sold happiness, nostalgia, and comfort. And then came the game-changing shift from generic candy to brand-name treats. The candy aisle was no longer filled with anonymous sweets, but with characters and stories. There was the Hershey bar, a symbol of American simplicity and tradition. The Snickers bar, promising satisfaction in every bite. And who could forget the cheeky M&Ms, always up to some mischief. These weren't just candies, they were brands, each with its own personality and appeal. And they were marketed not just to children, but to adults too. After all, who could resist the allure of a sweet escape from the mundane, if only for a few moments? Candy had become a part of the cultural fabric, woven into the tapestry of holidays, parties, and everyday life. And as the candy craze grew, so too did its most significant holiday, Halloween. Once a time for apple bobbing and ghost stories, Halloween was now a celebration of candy in all its glorious forms. From trick-or-treating to candy corn, the holiday had become a sugar-coated extravaganza. The candy craze was here to stay, and Halloween became synonymous with sweet indulgence. It's truly a marketer's dream come true. Now let's delve into the most loved Halloween treats. Here are the top 10 Halloween candies that have stood the test of time. Vibrant wrappers, eclectic tastes, and seasonal delights that have charmed trick-or-treaters for generations. Starting off with the 10th spot, we have the crunchy, the nutty, the irresistibly sweet Almond Joy. A delightful combination of almonds, coconut and milk chocolate that has been a Halloween staple since the mid-20th century. Next, at number 9, we have the ever-popular Hershey's Milk Chocolate. Simple, classic, and oh so smooth. This timeless treat has been satisfying sweet tooths and filling Halloween bags for more than a century. Sliding into the 8th spot, we have Starburst. These fruity, chewy squares of happiness have been brightening up Halloween nights with their rainbow of flavors since the 1960s. At number 7, we find the Toothsome Twix, a delicious duo of cookie and caramel covered in chocolate. The perfect Halloween treat to share, or not. Swooping in at number 6, we have the colourful, the melty, the mouth-watering M&Amp. These bite-sized chocolate treats wrapped in a candy shell have been a Halloween favourite since their creation in the 1940s. Moving into the top 5, we have the classic Kit Kat, breakable wafers enrobed in milk chocolate. It's a Halloween tradition to take a break and enjoy a Kit Kat. In 4th place, we got the irresistible Snickers, packed with peanuts, caramel and nougat, all covered in chocolate. It's a Halloween staple that never disappoints. Coming in at 3rd, we have the vibrant Skittles, a rainbow of fruity flavours that brings a burst of colour to any Halloween candy haul. Runner-up at number 2, we find the spooky fun candy corn, a Halloween classic that's as much a decoration as it is a candy. And finally, at the coveted number 1 spot, we have Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect blend of chocolate and peanut butter that has been the reigning champion of Halloween candies for years. These candies have become an integral part of Halloween celebrations, but remember, it's not just about the candy, it's about the spirit of festivity. Like any good tale, the story of Halloween candy isn't without its controversies. The sweet allure of Halloween candies is not without its fair share of bitter disputes. Over the years, these sugary delights have been at the centre of numerous debates, igniting passions on both sides of the candy corn aisle. One of the most heated debates revolves around the health concerns associated with Halloween candies. Critics argue that these treats contribute to the growing problem of childhood obesity, tooth decay, and other health issues. They point to the high sugar content, artificial colouring, and preservatives found in many candies as the culprits. On the other side, candy enthusiasts contend that Halloween is a once-a-year event, and that moderation is the key. They believe that with proper dental hygiene and a balanced diet, indulging in a bit of holiday sweetness won't tip the health scale. The safety of Halloween treats has also been the subject of much controversy. Stories of tampered candies and hidden dangers have been circulating for decades, often causing fear and mistrust during the season of trick-or-treating. While these instances are extremely rare, they do underline the importance of inspecting your children's Halloween haul for any signs of tampering or suspicious items. Another contentious issue is the ethical considerations of certain candies. Some have raised concerns about the environmental impact of candy packaging, while others point out the unethical labor practices in the chocolate industry. These issues have led to a growing demand for more sustainable and ethically produced candies. And let's not forget the age-old debate: candy corn, delightful treat, or sugary abomination? This polarizing candy has been dividing Halloween enthusiasts for years, with some adoring its unique flavor and texture and others vehemently opposing its very existence. These controversies remind us to enjoy our treats responsibly. After all, too much of a good thing can be harmful. What does the future hold for Halloween candy? Let's speculate. As we delve into the crystal ball of confectionery, a few trends begin to emerge. Firstly, the health-conscious wave sweeping across the globe is making its presence felt in the candy aisles as well. Increasingly, candy makers are exploring healthier options, substituting traditional ingredients with organic ones or reducing sugar content without compromising on the taste. Sugar-free gummy bears, anyone? But it's not just about cutting down on the sweet stuff. There's a growing focus on accommodating dietary restrictions and allergies too. The days of trick-or-treaters having to sadly put aside candy that they can't eat due to allergies could soon be history. We're seeing more allergen-free treats, nut-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, you name it. The goal is to ensure that every child can enjoy their Halloween haul without worry. And let's not forget the environment. As the world becomes more eco-conscious, the candy industry is not lagging behind. We're seeing a shift towards eco-friendly packaging, with biodegradable wrappers and recycled cardboard boxes becoming more prevalent. After all, the sweetness of Halloween shouldn't come at the expense of our planet. Moreover, who's to say that the future of Halloween candy is limited to just, well, candy? The increasing popularity of Halloween-themed treats like cookies, popcorn, and even drinks suggests that the definition of Halloween candy could become broader in the future. So what does all this mean? It means that the future of Halloween candy could be healthier, more inclusive, and more environmentally friendly. It could be more diverse, with an array of treats that go beyond traditional candy. But most importantly, it means that the spirit of Halloween, the fun, the excitement, the anticipation of what's to come, is alive and well. And that's something that no amount of change can take away. The future of Halloween candy is as exciting as its past. Who knows what sweet surprises await us? We've journeyed through the history of Halloween candy, and what a sweet journey it's been. From the humble beginnings of nuts and fruits, we've seen Halloween treats evolve into an array of delightful confections. The Candy Craze truly took us by storm, introducing a flurry of textures, tastes, and colors, all vying for their spot in the top 10 Halloween candies. Who could forget the timeless appeal of the chocolate bar, the tangy burst of fruity candies, or the creamy allure of caramels? The candy controversy stirred up quite a debate, yet each candy holds a special place in our hearts and Halloween bags. And the future? It looks even more deliciously diverse and exciting than ever before. As we unwrap our Halloween treats this year, let's remember the sweet history behind them. The candies we savor are more than just treats. They're a culmination of tradition, innovation, and a whole lot of love for sweetness. Happy Halloween!